Hi everybody, welcome to Story Time, and today it's the final story of this half term, and you'll all be breaking up for your Easter break and enjoying lots of chocolate eggs, I'm sure. And I promised you that I would read you another story that is also featuring the animals that we associate around spring and Easter, our rabbits and our chicks, and this one is Icky Little Duckling. And it's by Steve Smallman and Tim Warnes. And this book actually belongs to Isabella Halsall, Mrs. Halsall's daughter, and she's let us borrow it so that we could share it with everybody at Oaklands as a special little story just before our Easter break. So it says, one day Mr. Rabbit finds a smooth, speckly, perfect thing in the woods, and he takes it back to his neat and tidy burrow. But this perfect thing is not what he thinks. Suddenly, crack! Out hatches an icky, sticky duckling. Mr. Rabbit does not want something icky and sticky in his lovely burrow, but the little duckling has other ideas. So we're going to find out what happens with our rabbit and our chick. Beautiful illustrations. I can see why Isabella likes this one. Mr. Rabbit liked everything to be just so. Every flower just so, every pebble just so, and every leaf in the forest perfectly neat and just so. One day he was busy tidying when he found something smooth and speckly and perfect. "Oh, my whiskers," he gasped. "Just the thing for my collection." Here he is, Mr. Rabbit. Look how smart he is with his satchel and his very nice waistcoat there. So he's got a very smart burrow. He likes nice things in it. Mr. Rabbit hurried home and he carefully washed the perfect speckly thing and he placed it just so in the middle of his collection. He loved it and he often sat polishing it and humming a happy little hum. But then, one evening, crack! A jagged line appeared down the side of Mr. Rabbit's perfectly speckly thing. "Oh, my whiskers!" he gasped in horror. "Don't worry, we'll soon have you mended." But it was too late. Crack! And it broke in two. Can you see what's peeking out of the egg? You see a little chick's face there. And out came something icky, sticky and strange. Not just so at all. It looked up to Mr. Rabbit and said, "Mama, Mama." "What?" cried Mr. Rabbit. No, I'm not your..." "Mama," it said again, even louder. Then it hopped onto the floor and it grabbed hold of Mr. Rabbit's leg and it just wouldn't let go. There it is, holding on to Mr. Rabbit. "Yuck," groaned Mr. Rabbit. He popped the icky sticky thing into a big bubbly bath. "First you must be clean. We'll find your mama in the morning." Quack! Soon there were bubbles on the floor and bubbles on Mr. Rabbit and bubbles all over the burrow. "Goodness me," gasped Mr. Rabbit. "You're a duckling." I think he's just realised who's in the bath and it's the duckling. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle went the duckling's stomach. "Oh, bother," said Mr. Rabbit. "Now you're hungry. Do you like porridge?" The little duckling did like porridge. She liked to sit in it, she liked to splash in it, and she liked to share it with Mr. Rabbit. "Yuck," groaned Mr. Rabbit, and he filled up the bath again. "Mama," she said. And there she is, and she's pouring the porridge onto poor Mr. Rabbit. He's very confused, isn't he? "Yawn," went the little duckling. Bedtime, thank goodness, cried Mr. Rabbit. Soon be morning. He popped the duckling into a box and tucked her in just so. But the duckling didn't stay just so for long. Mama! Mr. Rabbit flopped into his chair. What a mess, he groaned. I'll tidy up in the... Snoring. Mama, whispered the little duckling. She scrambled onto the rabbit's lap and she snuggled up and she fell fast asleep too. There she is on his lap. Next morning, they set off to find the duckling's mama. Duckling found a stretchy thing and some spotty bugs. Then she found a grumpy old prickle monster and she had to have a hug from Mr. Rabbit. But they didn't find her mama. Oh, and they put a poster up saying, found one little duckling. And there's the prickle monster. Can you see what it is? Hedgehog, they're not monsters, are they? They're lovely. Back at home, Mr. Rabbit made some more porridge. The duckling found lots of lovely things to play with. Put those down, shouted Mr. Rabbit, carefully. Oh, I hope we find your mama soon, he sighed. But they didn't find her the next day, or the day after that. Then one morning, down beside the stream, the duckling shouted, Mama! And this time she was right. She leapt to meet her family in a happy huddle of kisses and quacks. And there she is with them. Then as Mr. Rabbit turned to leave, the little duckling jumped into his arms and gave him a great big feathery hug. Thank you so much, Mr. Rabbit, said Mrs. Duck. Back in his burrow, Mr. Rabbit scrubbed and polished until everything was neat just as before. His books were just so. His boxes were just so. And his collection was tip-top and totally just so. But he didn't feel right. Everything was just so, but he was not just so. He was lonely. Even his special things didn't seem so special anymore. Then Mr. Rabbit had a wonderful idea. Oh, my whiskers, he cried. I'll need lots of porridge. What do you think his idea might be? Mr. Rabbit invited the duck family to tea. His burrow didn't stay neat for long, but it was filled with giggles and quacks and fun and friends, and Mr. Rabbit thought it was just perfect. Lots of them there. So not just so this time, just perfect. And that's our final page. You can see that they're all together having their tea. That was a lovely story. So thank you, Isabella, for letting us borrow it, Icky Little Duckling. And I hope that maybe you might get a chocolate duckling at Easter, I don't know. Or you may have some decorations. I've got my Easter tree up. And I'm sure that you've got lots of Easter trees and things in school or at home. So if you have a lovely Easter, I'm sure you will, and enjoy your chocolate. If you get some, I'm sure you will as well. And I'll see you very soon. So bye for now.